One does not have to be any sort of expert. You don't have to have been interviewed people that are part of the casting decisions, that are part of the creative direction of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it's not exclusive to them. But you don't have to be that guy. You don't even have to understand that. You can just see with your own eyes and how it's playing out, that there has been an emphasis on prioritizing, and this is the key, prioritizing these concepts of diversity and representation overall, right? And when I say prioritizing, you have to understand that means that you are putting that at the top of your list in your decision making. So nothing's really going to be organic after that. It's, well, we need to get to this point, this specific makeup with our world, our casting, our production. And a lot has changed with Hollywood, where they have certainly emphasized that themselves. Certain awards you're not even eligible for if you don't have this X amount of makeup of this underrepresented population and all that. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we were gaslit for. I think now even the haters accept, because now they're embracing it, right? Now they're embracing it, that this is a good thing. When at first they were gaslighting everybody when we would say this is what they're prioritizing, and it's going. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be going in this odd direction. But the Wrap interviewed I think this is the casting director, if I'm not mistaken, on what they're doing and the direction that they're going in. It says inside the rise of Marvel's next generation. And as you can see in this picture, tokenized Iron Man, you have Miss Marvel, if I'm not mistaken, that's who that is. And as well as what's the chick's name? I'm losing that the chick that was introduced in Doctor Strange that plays the America Chavez. I don't know why I was losing my mind there. The chick that was born on a planet full of lesbians. That actually happened. When the Marvel Cinematic Universe began, reading this from the Wrap, with Iron Man 2008, Robert Downey Jr. was 43 years old at the time, and Gomez, who plays America Chavez, was 2 years old. I literally didn't live in a world without it. So they say, and the Doctor Strange star points out. And she's far from the only new face in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's who grew up as the franchise took over pop culture. Miss Marvel breakout, Iman Vellani, was 6. Black Panther Wakanda Forever actress Dominique Thorne was 10. Ant-Man and the Wasp was star Catherine Newton was 11. So you have all these new young people who, as actors, or just as people, they grew up on this, and now they're in the acting space, and obviously it's probably a dream for them to be working for these companies. Now all 4 women are part of the next big wave of heroes, a group that as a whole is far younger than the men and women who started this universe. Known as the Infinity Saga, the first 11 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe were split into 3 phases. Yada yada, not important. Phase 4 projects brought the introduction of characters like Kate Bishop, Yelena Bova, America Chavez, Kamala Harris Khan, and more. Some are teens, some are in their 20s, some haven't even hit their tween-age years. Yada yada. As a result, many fans have raised hopes that perhaps the Marvel Cinematic Universe equivalent of the Young Avengers comics, and I'm guessing they're talking about the all new, all different. Those books never did that well, by the way, which focused on groups, adolescents who were directly connected to the Marvel's main group of Avengers. But according to Marvel's casting director, Sarah Finn, who's been responsible for casting some of the biggest heroes in the franchise, including Thor and Black Panther, this new age of heroes, both figuratively and literally, wasn't, from my experience, a proclamation from Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige. It was just the next step for the universe. It was a proclamation. That's not true. We know Victoria Alonso and her views on this. Like, y'all were pretty clear, making it pretty clear. And your parent company Disney was making it very clear what you guys were going to emphasize. I will say that after the Endgame, it was Avengers Endgame. That is, it was one of the things that really fueled me. That's what Finn told the rap. You know, there's that moment of wait. Where do you go from here? After Endgame, it felt so final. And then, of course, that impulse is we go with more representation, more diversity. We go younger. There's a whole fresh wave to explore here. And for me personally, that's giving them tremendous energy. Yeah, you're in it for the right reasons. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's funny, like they have no sense of, I guess, a short memory, right? You talk about 2008 and the launch of Iron Man and how that turned into all these other movies, Hulk, Thor, all that, Captain America. And you can see that so many people of different ilks, colors, race, whatever, gender, ethnic background, whatever, were falling in love with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or at least thought fondly of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You didn't get that way by emphasizing diversity. You didn't. The most recent young addition came in the form of Riri Williams, played by Dominique Thorne, yada, yada, yada. And so they're playing Ironheart, tokenized Iron Man. For Thorne, it's super exciting just to see the shift in Marvel heroes, let alone to be a part of it. Being 10 years old when the MCU was created, she always loved the fun and action films. But now 3 phases later, being a star, yada, yada, yada. So I guess the thing to take from this article and is that it's all been confirmed. Like they saw that as an opportunity, and Finn tells you themselves that they saw this opportunity to take this company or this Marvel Cinematic Universe into that direction, prioritizing diversity and representation and other things that none of us actually cared about, but more importantly, things that were not emphasized to grow the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is always interesting when they insist that this must be done to bring in more audience and all that. And I'm like, well, if that were the case, how were people already falling in love with this and becoming so big of fans? Well, now you have this MCU is a little different now, where they just couldn't stop putting out billion-dollar movies or near billion-dollar movies. How do you grow something to that? Which obviously you had to have people viewing it from around the world that were from different walks of life. Yet they enjoyed it. And this is the thing. They enjoyed it. And now all of a sudden you have to prioritize that. Like that's the thing. That's your effort. So it's not organic. It's all about checking boxes. You're telling us. They've told us that in multiple ways. So you can't be surprised when, this is exactly what you get. And the quality itself suffers because you're not doing it for the right reasons. It's simple. Wherever you're viewing the content, I appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, you may be interested in my comic book company, Rippaverse Comics. Our first book and campaign, ISOM #1, brought in $3.7 million with tens of thousands of satisfied customers. Visit Rippaverse.com to check out our store and stay up to date with the latest campaigns from one of the hottest new comic book companies. Also, my first big step towards a parallel economy was the development of my personal website, ericdjuly.com. This entirely replaced my Patreon. Now, if you enjoy this content, please consider becoming a member over at the website. We have an ever-expanding list of perks for various membership tiers, a forum, and a phone app. Some of these perks will even benefit you if you're fans of the Rippaverse. Anyway, I appreciate you so much for being a supporter and or customer. I even got a little love for my haters.